This is the video demo of my PES final project on program counter profiling on the KL25C. So I'll go ahead and start the program. So as you can see here, it's inside the sysdig handler, and if we can observe here on the left pane, we can see that the address at which the program was executing before the interrupt occurred is 966. So here the buff essentially contains this value, and we can see that by using the GDB console. So if I examine the contents of the memory at the buff variable, you can see that it's showing 966, which matches with the location where it was executing before it got interrupted by the sysdig handler. This is later pushed onto the CB54 queue, where it's returned onto the UART. And on my UART, we can see the prints containing these non-ASCII characters, which are essentially the addresses sampled by the program counter. So I'll go ahead and continue the program. So now the program execution has been completed as it has reached the reset ISR. My main program just consisted of 3 functions. Each of them had a different loop iteration, and then the profiling stop. And these logs on my putty are being captured in a file also. And if we observe the functions which are being executed, the first function executes for 10,000 times, and the second function which is invoked executes for 100,000 times, and the third function finally executes for 1,000,000 times. So this is essentially we should see in the profiling samples that function 3 takes the most amount of samples, then it's function 2, then finally function 1 takes the least amount of samples. So now that we have the logs, we'll go ahead and run a Python parser through the logs. So the Python script which I have written is on the Ubuntu machine. So I have copied the files from my Windows machine into the Ubuntu side. So now I'll go ahead and run the parser on the log file which was captured, which is putty13.log. So it requires 2 files. One is the log file which was captured, along with the binary which was generated, which we are investigating currently. So if I go ahead and just so this is my binary file which I need to provide for the Python script, along with the log file which I have just now generated. So if I run this, we can see that the sampling results are as we expect. Function 3 takes more number of samples because it runs for a higher amount of time. It has a loop iteration which runs longer, followed by function 2, and then finally by function which runs the least amount of time. Yeah, thank you.